Hello, BookTube, and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. Well, I don't know if you can hear it or not. You can probably hear it, right? My voice is a little froggy. I've woke up with some sort of sore throat and a cough, which I think I caught from my daughter, who's had a cough all week. Uh, yeah, and it's just been going downhill all day as I've been continuing to teach like this. And at the moment, Vietnam time, it is 11:45 at night. Sorry, this is the only free time I've had all day to make this video. It's been one of those days. So let's try and keep this one short and sweet, huh? I mean, I always say that, and then I always ramble on for 15 minutes or whatever anyways. But I'm really going to try my best and keep this one short and sweet. I don't have a lot to report on. So I don't have a ton to talk about reading-wise, although I've managed to keep this channel busy this past week. As last week I mentioned, I wanted to record some of the poems from Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, which I did. I recorded a parody, which is not, I don't think it's by Frederick Douglass himself. No author is given. Apparently it was from some Methodist preacher who lived in the South and was appalled by what he thought was the hypocrisy from religion in the slave trade. While Googling this, I discovered that it was a parody of another hymn called The Heavenly Union. So I decided to record them both, just so it was clear what was the original and what was the parody. And then the other one is another poem that's quoted in Narrative of the Life of the Frederick Douglass about, what was the name of it? I'm forgetting the name. It's something about a lament of a slave mother being parted from her children when they're being sold, which was not quoted in full, but a stanza of it was quoted in the Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass. Again, it's not by Frederick Douglass. It was by a guy called, Whittier, slave poet Whittier, but quoted in the Life of Frederick Douglass. So it was on my mind, and I thought I'd add it to my poetry project. So that was three poems: the original Heavenly Union, parody of a Heavenly Union, and the Whittier poem, which I recorded this week. And then I got two graphic novels read, not one but two. The Discworld graphic novel, which I can't hold up and show you because I've already returned it to the library. And then the Sandman Volume 1, which I actually tried to return to the library this afternoon, but my school library was closed for whatever reason. I don't think they're usually closed on Sundays, but they were closed, so I couldn't return it. So here it is. I did a review of that. So yeah, five videos this week. I'll link to them all down below. In terms of my actual reading, I've been carrying this book around with me. I read from page 78 to page 124, so 46 pages. The intent behind these weekly reading vlogs when I first started them up was to talk about what I was reading each week, but it's difficult to talk about a book like this without kind of recounting the whole plot of the fantasy novel. And like a lot of fantasy novels, this is getting a little bit complex with its world building and who's friends with who and stuff like that. So I'm just going to talk about this in very general terms. Parts of this book are coming off as a little bit cliche. There's a budding romance between this young girl who's new at court, and she's being forced to marry this really boring guy, but she finds herself in love with his half-brother, who is really dark and mysterious. And the character notes seem a little bit cliche, like the fact that the boring brother is stuffy and boring. That note just gets hit on just a little bit too much, where I feel like it's a bit cliche coming through. But on the whole, I am finding this incredibly readable and enjoying it, and looking forward to getting more into it. And I guess that's all I'm going to say about that. Last thing I want to talk about maybe is well, just a heads up for maybe what's coming next. So we are traveling. We're going to be going back to my wife's hometown in Quang Ngai in the middle of Vietnam for the next 5 days. So I'm not quite sure what kind of internet access I'm going to have. So possibly I won't be posting anything, or I may try and get some travel log videos done. This is a new project I've been doing the past year or so, is just taking my phone with me and shooting videos. Excuse me. Most recently, it's all been of Saigon, but getting out of Saigon and into central Vietnam, the countryside, the rice fields, the water buffalo, all that stuff. If I can shoot some videos of it, I will. And then if I have time to upload those videos, I will. In terms of reading plans, I'm just going to take this book with me. It fits nice in the backpack. I'm debating whether or not to take two books. I'm trying to pack light. And I'm a slow reader, so this should keep me occupied for the week. Should. On the other hand, you never know. Sometimes on these trips, especially when you're stuck out in the countryside, you find yourself with more time than you thought you would. Although now that I've got two kids to look after, those days may be behind me. But you never know. We're going to be staying with my wife's family, so there might be other people looking after the kids. I don't know. I think I'm going to bring two books just in case. And I was debating about it, but I think that the book I'm going to bring with me is the Iliad. I'm in that kind of mood this week where I'm looking to get into something a bit more classical. This is a prose translation, which is not going to be too demanding. So maybe I'll take this with me. I'm not sure if I'll bite into it or not. If I do get into it, it will be a reread because I read this when I was in 7th grade, but I don't think I've. No, I reread it in high school, but I haven't read it since high school. So yeah, that's all. So I rambled on for 8 minutes. Not bad.